Good afternoon and welcome to FM Dinosaur Football Manager YouTube channel. In this pilot save, I'm managing York City and this is episode 3. In this episode we will cover the following elements. We'll go through the basic rules of what I'm doing on this save and a summary of what I am and I'm not doing. We'll have a look at the squad. We had a look at the attackers yesterday and the wingers. We'll have a bit of a look at the goalkeepers and the central defenders. So we'll go through that. So essentially, for the round for the rules, or just how I'm running this, because I'm a nice person, I'm going to save you from having to see my face during these videos. So certainly for the pilot run, I'm not going to put a little square of my face in so you see me. Fair enough to everybody. Number 2, this save is purely British leagues only. This will be National League North and South and above. So there's no enabled foreign leagues in this save at all. Just purely English. The database, as you can see, is enabled. This is purely for display of attributes if I ever need to, or if we ever want to go through anything. Nothing has been changed in this game. You can see the finances are the same. I've not changed any attributes. This is purely supposed to be for information if it seems worth looking at. As you'll have seen in the previous episodes, I've chosen to manage York City in this save. There's only one reason for it really. I think I mentioned previously I do a bit of football photography. I do some for a team in the Hellenic League. I also have a photographic license for the Vanarama National League Conference. And this season I've been to 3 games when I've been able to around work and Westfield's fixtures. These are York, Chesterfield, Rochdale. I've also been to Gloucester, but that's near the National League South. And I decided to go for National League. Out of the 3 National League clubs I been to this season, I thought York was the nicest club, or the best atmosphere. I like the setup there. Don't get me wrong, Rochdale, I really like Rochdale's got a nice old stadium. It takes you back to Edgar Street. A bit more modern than Edgar Street probably, and at least all the stands are used. And Chesterfield, well, it's a nice stadium. Chesterfield are a strong team. I thought, well, with how York are doing this season, I thought I'd try and see how we go with York. The tactics will generally be a 4-4-2 or something similar. Part of the reason for my name, FM Dinosaur, is I think I'm very old school when it comes to football. I don't really get or understand or interested in all these 8s, 9s, 6s, 10s, whatever. A player's a player, and defining all these roles, I think restricts a player. And I think it's a modern day phenomenon where you have to label everything. If you're a midfielder, really you should be doing anything you can to influence the result. And if it means going to box somebody that you suppose you're not supposed to, then you do it because you're doing it for the benefit of the team. Obviously, that's not the modern day way of looking at things. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. So yeah, I'm very much a 90s football fan. My first ever FA Cup final I remember watching is Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest. I remember watching the semi-final against Arsenal. So that's kind of my first World Cup was an Italian 90. So that's certainly my first football memories. So I've grown up through the 90s, and that's like most people. I suppose the era you grow up in is probably the most romantic that you remember. So yeah, I'll try and base it loosely on 90s football tactics, and in this save I think I've decided to go for 4-4-2 with York City. I will make this save as realistic as possible. I know a couple of other people do this on other channels. I think it's a good way of doing it. You look at contracts, look at ways of how I earn money. My history for manager is generally pretty poor. I'm not very good at it, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'm sure if I get a following, I can have help off you lot, you boys and girls, and we can go from there. It'd be interesting, I think, as well, to get some comments on who you follow and what sort of audience we got, whether it's an English team, whether it's a a European team, or even further afield. You could put in the comments who you support, and go from there, and see what happens. So let's have a bit of a look at the squad. I know these couple of first episodes are probably a little bit slow, but I'm just want to try and make sure that I'm covering it, getting used to what I'm doing. And we'll look at the goalkeepers in our squad first of all. So we have, I believe it was 5 goalkeepers. If you look at the contract, we got 3 backups and two youngsters. David Stockdale, who I believe is York's #1 goalkeeper, is out for a fair while, 7 to 9 months with a Achilles tendon injury. So he's clearly out for the season pretty much. So for me, it gives us a couple of options as a goalkeeper, Rory Watson or Ryan Whiteley. Having a look at them, they're both quite similar, but I think, if we compare them, Ryan Whiteley, they're very similar, but I think Rory Watson just comes out on most elements. We're just trying to ensure that Rory Watson doesn't do a huge amount of punching, because apparently he's not. He doesn't do a huge amount of looks of it, but we're trying to make sure that that's the case. I'm not a fan of goalkeepers punching anyway. I much prefer them to catch. And also with goalkeepers, I'm a big fan of not passing it about. Just get rid of it. Our youngster goalkeepers will probably won't be involved a huge amount. Maybe in a couple of minor cups. We will try and take them reasonably seriously, and we'll go from there. So I think for now, we might take Roy Watson off the loan list. Possibly look at getting one of these keepers on the loan. They are both under 28, if I remember correctly. 18 and 19. So we'll possibly get one of them on loan, if not 2, making sure we can record them, and we'll go from there. And I think for the start of the season, Roy Watson will be the #1 keeper. So we'll look at our central defenders now. Just a very quick look. I think again, central defenders. Sorry. What's been chosen here, I think, if you look at attributes, I think they speak for themselves. We start the season with Callum Howe and Tyler Cordner as our 2 central defenders. Their tackling's good, their strength's good. They're heading us, so I think we need to look at possibly looking at making the most of set pieces as much as we can and getting them up there. And then when we come to some mental attributes, their decisions are decent. They're pretty much the best we can expect in this squad. So I think we've got a couple of decent central defenders to base our team on. So we'll see how that goes, and I think we will tomorrow play the intra squad friendly. Now I've got myself around it. I've got a bit of a plan of how I'm doing things, and we'll go from there. I will make these hopefully a bit more. Go from tomorrow. We'll go through a lot quicker. We'll look at our wing backs or full backs and play a game or 2. For the friendlies, I'll probably just do highlights only, as in goals only. And when we get to the season, so the other thing I plan to do is, up until the end of the transfer window, I will play each game. Once we get to the end of the transfer window, I will then do a month save at a time, or a month go on holiday for a month, review the month, and go from there. And I think that'll be the setup of the videos, and then we can and we'll go from there and see how it goes. And of course, if anybody's got this far, please, any comments, any ways of making it better, other than changing my voice, I can't do much about that. Let me know, because this is all a learning curve for me, and we'll see what happens. Thank you very much for listening if you got this far, and I'll look at getting another video